Hi everyone, Eric Nelson here once again, and thank you for tuning into my YouTube channel. For today, I am back with another book review on J.C. Brennan's A Fine Line, The Beginning. Now, if you regularly follow my reviews here on my YouTube channel, then you are aware that I have read and reviewed J.C. Brennan's Fine Line book series out of order. And although that all of the books stand great on their own, I highly recommend that you read this book first, because even if both books are great on their own within a book series, I still personally believe that you should begin at the beginning. Well, you are probably all wondering, if I believe that, then why did I read the books out of order in the first place? Well, that's because that's what J.C. Brennan sent me in the beginning. So I read them as they come to me, and this is how it is. So, and it's not just that, but sometimes when I pick up a book, sometimes I'm not aware that it's a part of a series I until I'm either like halfway into it, or maybe like somewhere, maybe like a few chapters after the first one, and then I'm like, oh shoot, it's part of a series. So in you know so at and so in the end, it's not a rule or a law, it's just something that I personally recommend. So anyway, to be now the protagonist in this book and in the series is actually a Union soldier that's fighting in the Civil War, by the name of William Thomas Hathaway the second. And we actually learn that his roots are actually from the South, and that his family, particularly his father, was actually for equal rights and for everyone to live in harmony. And that's how we learn why William Hathaway became a Union soldier and became a believer where everyone should accept one another. So years later, while fighting in the Civil War, he meets up with a woman by the name of Caroline, who has the ability to read people's minds. Well, because of this ability that she has, she's able to get inside of his thoughts and then have him win her heart, and she wins his heart, and they end up getting married. Well, then once he goes back to fighting, he then becomes seriously injured, and then he is healed by two other people who have supernatural powers by the name of Cecile and Tyrone. And once they are invited to live with William and his new wife Caroline, they are then meet up by some of William's war buddies, and that's when they become known as the Crew. Well, actually, they really don't become known as the Crew until they become face to face with something much more dangerous than the war itself, and their powers are exposed and revealed to the world. That's when they become the Crew. And what happens after that? Well, let's just say that there are a couple of books more that you have to read that you have to find out, and I won't dare ruin them for you here. So once I read the other books that are set after this, I actually enjoyed the supernatural side to these stories, but I have to say, I really after I read this book, I really admired William Heathaway a lot more than I actually did before. Now, you actually do get some of his background in the other books, but here we it actually goes into much more detail for obvious reasons because it's the beginning, and it's like it's really like reading the human side of a superhero. And not only do we see how he became a supporter of the Union and why he decided to fight for it despite having lived in the South, and also this really didn't come as a shock to me that he came from the South and was a supporter of the Union because in his history class I read that there were a lot of Southerners who actually did support the uh, abolishment of slavery. But anyway, I really like how J.C. Brennan presented the historical side of this story because even though, as I said before, you can read about the Civil War in your history books, you really get a sensation that you are actually there while reading this one. And it's almost like reading a personal diary of someone who was actually there. So you can get this book anywhere, and I hope to see you all at the bookstore or the iBookstore.